Our next inductee is Joan Powell. I believe that Joan is our first Triple Crown winner, you could say. She's going as an athlete, coach, and official. She played volleyball at Salpointe High School, and then at the University of Arizona. She has officiated softball, volleyball, all the way. I mean, she's a top volleyball official, and she's in the U of A Hall of Fame and the Colorado Coaches Hall of Fame. Joan Powell.
I'd like to thank John Gleason and his committee, especially Mary Hines and Mary Roby, for this honor. And as most of the honorees up here have already alluded to, you don't get to a place like this without the guidance and support of other people. And I know my mom and dad right now are looking down on this gathering, and also especially to this table, and they're smiling, and my mom's elbowing my dad saying, "My cup runneth over." And she used to always say that, and so I say ditto to her. You know, I live in Colorado Springs, but my roots are here in Tucson, and it actually started on the streets of Connors Avenue, where we first played baseball every night until it got dark. All of the neighbor kids, all of my family, and I learned the value of sport. We had a bat and a tennis ball, and a side spigot from somebody's house. That was home plate. Across the street, a crack in the curb was second base, and then two manholes, a sewer and water, and that was first and third. And so we played until the sun went down, and you know, Mr. Kuntz just whistled, and all the kids went home, and it was all good. But I've got some of my teammates here, actually family members, I'd like to recognize. And so my sisters Kathy and Nancy, her husband Terry, and daughter Amanda, and my brother Jack, who is from Goodyear, Arizona. Hello. Yeah, he cheated a lot. But he taught me the value of sport and competition, and I'd like to thank my family. From the streets of Tucson, then I went to St. Peter and Paul, no real organized athletics for women, but then I went to Salpointe High School, where I was allowed to play softball and volleyball. And I have a member of the Salpointe staff that is here, Paul Crowley, and I have not seen him since 1969 when I graduated from Salpointe. And so this is unbelievable that a teacher would come to this event for me. So Paul, I'd like to thank you. Thanks. And then from the halls and gym of Salpointe High School, I went to the University of Arizona, where I met Dr. Catherine Russell, who was my coach. And she was unbelievable, taught me how to play volleyball, how to teach it, how to coach it, and how to officiate it. And I am indebted to her for my career path, and I'd like to thank Catherine. And then I've got a teacher that's very special to me, Judy Sorensen, that has hundreds of physical educators throughout the country indebted to her for her teachings, and so I'd like to thank Judy too. And Mary Hines and Dr. Roby. Dr. Roby, such a passionate pioneer for women's sports. She is no new news to you. And most recently, I just have to tell you, Mary, you have taught me the real definition of courage and the real definition of resiliency, and I thank you for that. Mary Hines, I did my student teaching at Catalina High School, and it was a hoot. I only wish I could have done my student teaching in the fall of the year so I could see your magic at the Catalina program. I appreciate that. I'd like to thank my immediate family, my daughter Ashley and my husband Dick. And Ashley, she's gone through unbelievable hurdles in her life. She is now a volleyball coach. Of course, I've tried to convince her to take on the absolute gig of coaching, and that is, in these days and times, to coach in an orphanage. Get it? No parents. Okay. But Ashley's a successful coach, and I love you. To my husband, Dick. You know, everybody comes up, talks about their significant other, talks about their spouses and all the times and the late dinners, and I travel quite a bit. This man is going to go to heaven. It is unbelievable what he has put up with, and I love you for that. And one time I called back when I was on the road, and I said, "Hon, have you had dinner?" And he said, "Yeah, I had dinner with Marie." And I'm like, "Marie?" And he heard the dead silence and he said, "Yeah, another frozen dinner with Marie Callender." So all the Marie Callender dinners, Dick, I really love you and I appreciate that. I'm going to honor somebody that I have never even met. Does the name Jim Joyce mean anything to anybody? Jim Joyce, baseball, major league umpire, one of the best in the country. And the reason why I bring him up is not only did he kick a call at first base, called the runner safe instead of out, but cost the pitcher for the Tigers team a perfect game. And it's not about him kicking the call, but it's about him publicly apologizing in tears to all of us Americans for making a mistake. And so I honor him because I think that's a huge deal. The next night he came out into the same ballpark, went to home plate where he was assigned, and there was a standing ovation. He looked down to the batting order and pretended like he was reading, but his eyes were filled with tears. And so for all of those officials that have refereed with me, all my partners for carrying me, I also would like to honor them as well. And I'll leave you with this one note that I learned at the National Association of Sports Officials. One gentleman said, "Without officials, it's just recess." Thank you.